Hey everyone, it's Brett Hornby here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And aside for another vlog on the go, I'm gonna go to a smaller shopping center that I used to live nearby when I lived in the Northeast. This is the Village Square Mall, which is in Northeast Calgary, right near 52nd Street and 26th Avenue Northeast, located in the neighborhood of Pine Ridge, which this was the neighborhood that I used to live in when I moved out of my childhood home back in 2009, and I lived in Pine Ridge till 2015. It was Mother's Day weekend in 2009 that I moved out from Marble Park on the other side of 16th Avenue to Pine Ridge, and I was there until my 33rd birthday in 2015, and I moved to Capitol Hill where I am. But what brought me here is let's do another mall video and pan around. It's kind of a mixed use. Have outdoor tenants, and there's an indoor section which I'm going to say also has very, very interesting aesthetics, but there's also been some interesting developments that have happened here past year. As you can see right here, this is where the Calgary Co-op used to be, the Co-op food store. However, Co-op is still here as the gas bar. So the Calgary Co-op is still here, the gas bar and the car wash, but not the food store. And actually it was March in 2023 that it was this location and the Beddington location that closed, as they said, due to the lack of sales. And actually where you are right now, I mean, this used to be a food store obviously, but you got the Save on Foods, which is just down the street near on the block where I grew up at the Trans-Canada Center. And then you got another co-op in Monterey Park, and then you have a Safeway by 36th Street Memorial. So there's a few grocery stores nearby, but that's if you have a vehicle. But other controversial thing that's also developed here is right where you see the blue, so a lot closer to when I get there. That's the Lester B. Pearson High School. And one thing that this mall was a tourist for, which walk inside, I mean, there's some businesses here, some of them are actually not here anymore, but this is the mall that they banned actually high school students from Lester B. Pearson last October, and the Clarence Sansom Junior High School in Pine Ridge from every day from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I was there at one point being a teenager where businesses either banned high school students or teenagers from just hanging around and loitering, and apparently it was a problem. Or there's times that even when I used to live here, even at this McDonald's, that there were teenagers that just hang out, and apparently the businesses inside the mall had a problem with them just hanging around, and they beefed up security temporarily, and they said that if they were caught in the mall, they would report to school and potentially get trespassing. So that could cut off some of the stuff inside the mall, but that's just me going on trying to use this place. I'm going to say this place, looking at listings, like for example, if you were interested in opening a business where the co-op used to be, I've seen commercial listings, and there's a few tenant spaces inside the mall. We'll see. And according to this place was built in 1977, which kind of makes sense, as where the townhouse I used to live in was built in 1975, and these communities like Pine Ridge, Rundle, they also call it Whitehorn Temple, the properties in Calgary, and those communities were developed in the late 1970s. So I'll make my way closer to the entrance, and we'll see you over there. Well, I'm here at the outside the entrance that used to be the co-op entry for the grocery store, but usually this is always bustling with people coming in and out, but now with it not being here, it's obviously a little deader. And of course, kind of around, still get the gas part. Of course, gotta have Tim Hortons. It's an institution in Canada. We love our Tim's coffee and donuts. But anyway, let's just go into the main mall, and this could also be a point of view for many people in the Northeast or different parts of the city, especially if you're on your way to the Village Square Leisure Center. But I'm gonna say this mall, I mean, it's a mixed strip mall. There's an indoor section and kind of a main area, but it kind of has that feeling of a rural mall. You know, when you're on a road trip and you decide to, let's say, go off the road to take a break and, let's say, get gas and go get some Tim's. But and sometimes you just wander off in a shopping mall, which I have in the past with some road trips, that I go inside a mall and it feels like it's an old rural mall that somehow sustains itself. I mean, there's businesses here that sustain itself. I mean, you got a couple banks, a liquor store on the outside. There used to be a bar called Sociables, or it used to be Titan's Twisted Tavern, but it's now closed. But let's just Lakeland Science, and this is the place that caused enough trouble for students to be banned. Let's inside. Let's look inside. You can also appreciate the aesthetics. I guess this is the liquor store. So as you can see, it's just a small little mall that's off the main road. And you got a couple jewelry stores. Small variety shop, barber shop. And now, you can see it's closed now, but this is kind of like the center court square area. No pun intended, being this is the Village Square Mall. But yeah, I can see there used to be a dollar store there. Of course, you could tell that used to be a fountain, but it's long gone. So down here, I mean, there's a Connect First Union. First Calgary, I remember, used to be there, but I think they rebranded. But I feel like this area, considering it was built in 1977, gotta wonder if this used to be enclosed or open. But here's where the food court used to be. So here, this is where you'd walk in and out of the co-op, but on your way to the leisure center over here. But yeah, I think they closed out the food court, and I did see that there's a listing for someone to potentially move in here, but this is where they banned the students to not come here. I always remember the Spicy Chef there, the Truly Good. There used to be a Subway. You can still see the scar of the Subway and Vietnamese. But I think some of these food courts, businesses, they were somewhat bummed that despite the crowd of students, and apparently some businesses had a problem with them just hanging out loitering, doing teenager things, that they made a lot of their business. So I think the food court here is now permanently closed. But as I said now, yeah, it looks like there's some family services here. There used to be a dollar store here. And then you always get some medical tenants. And I'll just walk around and kind of this back area. I think there's another tenant or place that's up for lease. That's where I saw that this place was built in 1977, but you just get a Fabitan, and then there is a Royal Bank at the end. So it's not a big mall, and some of these businesses are only open, let's say Monday to Friday. This is all where the professional services are, but I just say this used to be a mall where I used to live. I don't think this mall is ever going to go anywhere, just because there's enough businesses. It's near the leisure center, and there's exterior businesses, but this feels like one of these rural malls, and just kind of gaff at with the nearby high school and junior high. Not too sure if the ban is still in place, but they banned students from being here from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. I think it was. But this is all the mall. And we'll just take a quick look outside. I think I also did remember one time there used to be a buffet here. And I think it used to be called Buffers, believe it or not. And I think this does look like this used to be open air based on the design, and it closed in. But I always just remember this being the place you walk through to go to the leisure center, including the co-op. And I know I used to have memories at the co-op because it was a grocery store that shopped at it was wild. Back in the day when I remember you had a full cart of groceries for like $50, and that included a big bag of tender chucks for Titan in the early 1990s. But yeah, over here is the Village Square Leisure Center. I'm not going to walk around in there because I think it's too busy and they might clamp down more. And then there's the library. But what do you think of the Village Square Mall? I mean, it's enough to be a mall, enough services. It's just surprising that, it was enough trouble that they banned high school students from the said high school, which is this blue building out here. Even though this high school was closer to where I lived, but I'm also glad I still went to Crescent Heights. You can see my school videos that I visited, that I went to growing up. Also glad I went to Crescent because of family reasons, and there was more stuff to do and no places I was banned from because I was a teenager. But here's this would be Pearson High School. I know a lot of people that I know went to this high school instead of Crescent. So here you go. Yeah, Village Square Mall entrance minus the food court and students. That's what I'll call this vlog. But I think this is where I'm going to end things, take some pictures. Wasn't a big mall. What do you think of it? The aesthetics, and what do you think of the decisions that was made, both the co-op being gone and was the right call to ban high school students from here, or junior high students from Clarence, Sansom? So to close out, I say, if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fans journey, just make sure you hit like, subscribe, and vlogging to go is one of the things I do, but I still have my Calgary sports content eventually I'll get around to making, but just want to say thanks for watching, enjoy a few more pictures, and I'll see you in the next video.